Trump says he plans to impose an extra 25% tariff on any country that buys oil or gas from Venezuela. Trump's former Energy Secretary, Dan Brouillette, joins me now. Dan, Trump is talking about doing the same thing with Russia, imposing secondary tariffs on anyone who buys their oil. Do you think it would work on Putin?
Yeah, good morning, Stuart. Yeah, I think it will work, and I think it will work on Maduro as well. I think people tend to forget that Nicolas Maduro was indicted in 2020 on narco charges. He has a long history with the cartels in Venezuela, and he uses the oil money that he gets from places like China and other parts of the world to fund those activities. So he exports not only his oil, but he exports, as we now know, his terrorists, his cartel criminal friends to places like the United States. So I think the president is right to target countries who continue to do business in places like Venezuela.
I spoke with the current Energy Secretary, Chris Wright, on the program yesterday. Listen to what he had to say about a nuclear renaissance. Roll it.
President Trump, as well, is committed to getting this nuclear renaissance that's been talked about for years, but actually getting it going. We have a project right now, the Palisades nuclear power plant in southwestern Michigan was shut down 2.5 years ago, just needlessly retired. That plant will be back online hopefully by the end of this year, and if not the end of this year, very early next year. So we're going to see some plant restarts. We're going to see increased investment. We will see a small modular reactor, hopefully running, and definitely several under construction during President Trump's term in office.
What do you say, Dan? A big-time renewal of nuclear energy on the way back? Big time?
Well, I think so, Stuart. The Secretary is absolutely correct. What we're seeing in the marketplace today is the development of new technologies, which I think are going to change public perception around nuclear energy. And what's important for us to do here in the United States is perhaps change some of the mindset. Utilities in the United States have self-described themselves as fast followers when it comes to nuclear technology. I think we're going to see that change. We're going to change it very soon. And we're going to start to see the development and the restart of facilities here in the United States, like the Secretary mentioned at Palisades, like the changes in direction we've seen in places like 3 Mile Island. And we're going to see the slowing down of the closures of nuclear plants like we saw in California with Diablo Canyon. So I think the Secretary is absolutely correct. It's also important, however, that we continue to develop new technologies and bring things like enrichment of nuclear fuels here to the United States and do that with American companies. What? I think the DOE under the Biden administration perhaps made a mistake by encouraging European and other producers of nuclear fuels to come here to the U.S. We need to do that with American companies.
Well, are we doing it now? Are we encouraging research and development in the nuclear field? Because it was dead for so many years.
Yes, I think we are, and the industry's doing a great job. They're developing fuel sources, what's known as high-assay LEU, and they're doing it in such a way that these fuels are now accident tolerant, meaning if the cooling system, for instance, shuts down in a nuclear facility, you won't have a radioactive release, and they're developing fuels that are non-proliferant, meaning you can't take that and make a warhead.
That's important. Dan Brouillette, good stuff. Thanks for joining us, sir. We'll see you again soon, I hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.